I bought these Husky mud guards for both the front and the back of my truck. It's a 2021 F150 Lariat, and I bought these mainly because they're plain, and that's really what I wanted. The ones that I saw that Ford have their emblem or logo on them, and I wanted plain ones. These cost about $80 for the complete set for front and rear. The rear ones are part number 5952, and the front mud guards are part number 5852. They do come with 3M double-sided tape for the upper portion of the mud guards, and then they also, for the rear mud guards, they have some hardware with the instructions, some additional screws, and then for the front they have the instructions, some clips, and then also they have some clear vinyl, and both the front and rear have some clear vinyl that you can put on your truck to protect the paint where the mud guard is going to more than likely rub, or dirt's going to get in there, and you'll eventually find out that your paint is pitted, scratched, worn. The main reason why I got these is that right here where the mud guard will be, it'll help prevent some of the dirt and rocks that are getting up here on the side steps. And then also, I notice it all the time, is that there's a bunch of rocks and dirt getting up under the door sill right here. It doesn't get in the truck, but it gets up in there, and I think the front mud guard will help prevent some of that from getting up inside the door seal. And then also on the back, it's going to help with the exhaust tip getting completely covered in mud, dirt, and rocks. These will be a welcome addition to the truck. I just washed this truck 2 days ago, and you can see what happens underneath the door. The actual seal is way up here, so there's nothing that prevents all this road debris from getting inside, and unless you open the door, you're not going to be able to clean this out, because it's really difficult to spray in there, although it seems like road debris gets in there very easily. But this is typically where you're going to see the corrosion on the door, is where the road debris comes in. Having used mud guards before, they do, specifically the front ones, the front mud guards, they really do help quite a bit to keep that stuff from getting inside the doors. So I'm going to put those on. Got the protective film right here going on this edge. They have both front sides on the same sheet, and they didn't do a very good job of cutting it. So I had to use a razor blade to try to separate them, and it wasn't very cooperative, but I do have it on there. There are two 9/32 screws that you have to take off. I did see a video, and they had said that you couldn't put the mud guards on without removing the tires. That's not true. I guess it depends on your tools. I'm using this little Craftsman ratchet with a 9/32 bit on it, and it fits in there with plenty of space to do what needs to be done. I'm gonna put that mud guard on. It's got some 3M double-sided tape here. It's going to sit right here, and then there's a metal clip. I have the 3M tape in place right in here, and then I also have the two 9/32 screws tightened down, and it's on there pretty snug and tight. The only issue is this clip that they provide. So this clip, they don't show the orientation of how this should go, whether this lip should be to the outside or the inside. So I'm assuming that it goes to the outside. The problem is that the clip stops about right there. So you end up with this big loop sticking out. Probably about 1/4 of an inch. And I think I need to probably find some clips that sit on there better than that, because I'm not sure I like that. If you put the clip on, this is what it ends up looking like. That's as far as it can actually go in. It just doesn't look right. I finished the front mud guards. Now I'm going to do the rear mud guards. This is basically what's needed. These are the vinyl strips for both sides. These were supposed to be pre-cut, but they didn't do a very good job of cutting them, so I had to use an X-Acto knife to go over the lines, because trying to pull it off, it was stretching it all out and everything, so I had to pre-cut them. Got my squeegee, got the U-clips, a screw with washer that was provided, and a cross-tip screwdriver. And what I'm going to do is clean up along here to put the vinyl, protective vinyl on here, and then I'll have to take out the inside plastic fastener or tree, depending on what you want to call it, and put the U-clip in, put the screw into the U-clip, and then this clip right here will go on the upper portion of the upper edge of the mud guard. I'm just using some isopropyl alcohol to clean this up as much as possible. Make sure I get good adherence with the protective vinyl that's going to go on here. Flood the area with some just soap and water just to make sure it's clean, so I don't get anything under the vinyl. Use this trim tool, trim this. This plastic retainer or tree is going to stay where it's at. I'm going to remove this 3M adhesive backing. Make sure I get it where it's supposed to be before I actually put the adhesive onto the fender. Someone had said that you couldn't do this without removing the tires, but you have this handy little bit ratchet. Makes it a lot easier. I mentioned this clip previously. I really don't like it because if you put it on here, as far as it'll go, over 1/4 of an inch of it is still going to stick out to the inside of the tire. Now this time on the back, it's pretty close to a 1/2 inch sticking out. And there's the barbs up here are in the mud guard, but the barbs that are right here that are supposed to go onto the edge of the fender aren't even touching the metal. I've had these mud guards on my truck for about 2.5 weeks. Been about 1.5 weeks since I've cleaned my truck. What I do like about the mud guards is they fit the profile of the truck. They're not too long, and they're also not just some flat just hanging off of there. As far as the profile of the truck with these on, looks pretty good. Since putting the mud guards on, I think it's helped quite a bit with the dirt that comes off the tire. The mud guard blocks dirt and debris from getting up under the door. So with the mud guard in place, I noticed that there's not as much dirt and debris at the bottom of the door. As far as the rear mud guards, because they're not that long, and I don't think I would want it that much longer, it really doesn't protect the exhaust tip like I thought it would. I think if it was just a little bit longer, the dirt coming up off the tire wouldn't hit the exhaust tip as much, but it's an exhaust tip. It's not that difficult to clean.